Napoli travelling to Milan today to take on Inter, and it will be the visitors who would take a 1-0 lead going into that second leg. Fabian Ruiz with the only goal of the game. Gab, I want to start with you. What's the real Napoli? They're such a weird team at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a question that's out there and stretching back into the Ancelotti era, where they were near the bottom of the table, but I think they were the first team this season to defeat Liverpool, and I think still one of the only ones.
Yeah, the only ones.
The only one. There you go. Look, I think there's a lot of talent in this team. They've certainly been through a lot. There's a lot of tension because they're not moving back up the table. I thought at the weekend. Against Lecce, they were a bit unfortunate with some of the officiating, but prior to that, they really feel the pressure, particularly at home, and so sometimes they play better on the road. And I think from Inter's perspective, they're coming off a derby. It's not so much the physical drain on it; it's the emotional drain. The fact that it was such a big victory for them, pulling even at the top of the table. So maybe Inter weren't quite where they wanted to be, and then Fabian Ruiz goes and scores an absolute worldie of a goal, and that's all the difference.
Why does that happen, boys? Like, psychologically, you imagine, you come back in the second half, beat Milan in the derby. You imagine then the momentum will surely carry you into this game.
Yeah, but he made changes as well. And Gab could correct me on this, but there was a few changes in the team. In midfield, there was changes. People like Kandreva didn't play, Young didn't play, and Koulibaly didn't play for Napoli either, Gab. I mean, how serious were the managers taking this?
I think they were taking it seriously. Koulibaly had a bit of a rough time at the weekend. There were issues with his fitness. For Conte, there's no question that the league is the priority. But the changes that he made were Bastoni and Lautaro Martinez. Bastoni now is effectively the starter at the back. He came back. He was suspended against Milan. He would have played otherwise. Lautaro Martinez obviously would have played against Milan. It's pretty normal for him, I think, to rotate his wing backs. He's done that all season. And Stefano Sensi, coming in there in midfield again, adding a bit of quality. So I don't think you can go and then blame the changes or speak of understrength side. I think in either case.
It's not quite the FA Cup, is it, where they're really rotating?
No, exactly.
It wasn't quite like that, but there was a little bit. But going back to Gab's point, I think clearly for Inter Milan, and we've talked about this in the show many times, it's crystal clear that the priority is to try and topple Juventus. They're going all guns for that. But from Napoli's perspective, this is going to be an important competition for Gattuso, for his future, whether it be at Napoli or somewhere else, to get some silverware, because we know they're having the struggles in the league. And if they can knock Inter Milan out, and it's still a big if, by the way, particularly when Inter have to go to Naples and play the counter-attacking game, which kind of suits them, it would be a big feather in his cap if he could do that, really, at Gattuso.
Look, credit to Napoli for getting the result. I still think this is Napoli are a team that have their issues, and some of those were there to be seen quite clearly. But from the Inter Milan perspective, and to your point, Dan, it's tough playing those big games, and those you getting yourself up to those emotional highs. You come down the day or two after, and then trying to get back to that same level, as we saw in Napoli, in a game and in a competition that doesn't mean anywhere near as much. Which is it's just human nature, and you can see that regardless of whether you're Inter Milan or whoever. If you have big games coming, it's hard to keep fighting that level. And I think as a result, Inter found themselves kind of playing this game at the wrong time. I thought again, Conte's team is very organised. I'm not convinced by Padelli and the back, and the back three, comeback five seems to look a little bit unsure themselves as a result. But Inter doing as you would expect, and despite the result, I don't think it looked that bad.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.